So they have a whole paper out there. It's publicly available, weirdly. And it describes in great depth how you can kill Bitcoin from a military point of view. And one of the so it's basically what the military normally does. It identifies centers of gravity for an enemy, in this case Bitcoin, and one of the centers of gravity is of course the community. Mm-hmm. So they'll try to inject spooks or fake developers that try to inject bugs into the software. And there's a lot of stories about that as well, of course. So we won't discuss them here. And the same on social media, of course. The trolls and the scams and the bots I can't really pinpoint, of course, if those are state actors, but mm-hmm. It wouldn't surprise me if there's state actors in the PsyOps domain that watch this market and are active in this community and discrediting people and taking out people from a social point of view. And especially people that, the thinkers in the community. I guess you and I would be on the list as well. So that's one thing. And the other is that, of course, the futures market, indeed, the price suppression. You would open an account with the CME and probably one of the other exchanges, which remind me to grab that back later is an important thing.
The cash and carry trade that we talked about a lot last year almost completely disappeared, which is a normal sign of maturing markets, and PlanB's worldview as an ex-institutional investor is all about arbitrage. In the beginning, there was arbitrage in Bitcoin, but only with exchanges in Korea, Europe, and the US, and then catching the differences was an easy way to make money. But it's obvious for Bitcoiners that the trend in the price and the fact that it's better technology means it'll win, and that means big opportunities in the months and years to come.
But yeah, they would basically try to naked sell the price down through the options market. But on the other hand, imagine they do that. And that would be visible, right? That would mean that the futures price of Bitcoin is lower than the spot price, which it is in certain in some short-lived periods. But that would also mean for the buyers that they can buy Bitcoin lower than the Bitcoin price. So and it's always a question: do the spot markets follow the future market, or do the futures markets follow the spot markets? Which is leading, which is lagging? Right. And in the end, it's all about arbitrage. So if there is a way to get the physical Bitcoin through the prices set at the future market or the spot price, the spot markets, if there is a way to get the physical delivery at a lower price than the actual spot market, then I guess, with Bitcoin, it's very easy to circumvent that short selling, because it will be used by the buyers to get a better price or to get some arbitrage profits. Right. It's so obvious, but so difficult to do, I guess, for a country that has grown, that is made big by Silicon Valley, all the tech companies in Silicon Valley, and all the banks in New York. The banks, of course, see Bitcoin as a competitor, so they're against, and they'll be against Bitcoin. So it will take quite some courage from leadership of the banks, and thus also from the political scene, to make that change to Bitcoin, even if it's as logical as we think it is for them with their vested interests. It's almost impossible to change their existing cash cow business into something new. And the same for Silicon Valley. Yeah, all the IT is in Silicon Valley, but Crypto Valley, where's that being built at the moment? Is that Singapore or Switzerland? Or, well, if you make it crypto friendly, you'll attract all the developers and the capital and the venture capital, etc. Like, I guess El Salvador does a great thing, but it's of course a very small country. I guess Florida and Texas are great examples, and and other states as well. I always forget that name of the state where Yellowstone is, but
Wyoming.
Wyoming does beautiful things legally with Caitlin and Cynthia. Yeah. But a country, and especially the US, can make the right decision or historical failure by accepting the logical thing, Bitcoin, or by banning it like China did. It's beautiful to see, actually.
Yeah, it really is, and it just
and I really, I mean, maybe it's good to know. I'm very hopeful because I know the discussion is going on in a lot of governments and regulators in different countries, and I talk to a lot of them in Europe, but also in the US and Canada, and those are more private settings with a lot of people from the Bitcoin community and from the traditional finance or regulator community, governments as well. So the talks are good, and I think the tone is good, and I guess the stakes are known. I guess most politicians know that it's not wise to kill a promising innovation.
Right.
That's a risk. But they also care about, of course, money laundering and terrorist financing and all that stuff. So we'll find a solution somewhere.
Yeah. The incentives sort of get between the cracks of the established order, where these individuals within government are taking some position in Bitcoin, right? Even if it's just speculative. But in doing so, it kind of reorients their incentives towards it. Right, where they may have been resistant to it originally, they may actually start to advocate for it a little more.
Yeah, and there are very clear incentives. I guess if you're the new crypto valley, you attract all the brains, all the capital, and all the benefits that come with that. So, do you want to be the next crypto valley and New York? Heart of the financial system in the world, or do you want some other country to be to get that advantage?
I think it was Naval said something like, if New York does not embrace Bitcoin and or crypto, that they're going to end up like Detroit.
Exactly like that. Well, and look at the mining. What happened? China banned it, so they lost their most strategic control on Bitcoin, the mining. Then Canada basically scared the miners away as well, because they have beautiful hydro power, almost zero costing electricity, but some political force doesn't want it because of some misinformation probably. And then Texas and the US, but mainly Texas, they welcome all the miners with the flare gas, and one rig after another is powered, or is powering the mining rigs. It's beautiful. It's smart as well. So it's basically a bearer instrument against an IOU, and Bitcoin being the ultimate bearer instrument, and fiat being just US dollar just an IOU, and it's a very interesting dynamic. I guess you have to learn that as a person and actually feel it by having Bitcoin and fiat, and then being afraid of losing the fiat because your bank is going to do funny stuff, or your government, which is, you hear that a lot, by the way. I hear that a lot.